Had a game-winning 2 RBI single in the 7th last night. The 1-0. Strike called. Nice crowd on hand here for game 2. Every game in this series being moved back from its original start time, including this one. Pitch inside, Lazera takes it 2-1. But the crowd showing up just the same. Beating the heat, 98 degrees at first pitch in San Antonio today. Pitch outside, 3-1. McMurry struck first early in last night's game, scoring 2 unearned runs in the top of the 2nd. Trinity trying to flip the script and score first today. Lazera takes a strike. Count runs full with 2 down and nobody on. The 3-2. Lined past the dive of Beach into left field. The second hit of the inning for the Tigers as Lazera reaches with 2 down. So Nick Lazera's torrid run continues through this postseason. It'll bring up Nick Jones, the cleanup hitter, hitting at .294 this year. OPS over .980. First 2 batters retired for Trinity, trying to salvage something out of this inning. First pitch to Jones is high for ball 1. Lazera waiting on first, 2 down in the inning. Hit in the air to right field. Paul ranging back to the warning track where he makes the catch that ends the inning. So 2 hits in the frame for the Tigers, but no runs to show for it as we head to the bottom of the first. McMurry will get their chance when we come back in the NCAA Super Regional. Hello, everybody. Welcome into San Antonio, Texas. We're here for Game 2 of this NCAA Regional. McMurry and Trinity tied at 0. We had some audio difficulties to begin this one, but we're back and ready to go for the bottom of the first. And you see the Warhawks lineup on your screen. Coy Carpenter followed by Riley Hood. Michael Smosna hitting 3rd today. Colin Bruning, Beckham Paul, Josh Mueller entering the lineup at DH today, followed by Blake Beach at short, Ty Nelson and Xavier Escobar in the 9-hole. And on the mound for the Tigers, it'll be the first-year Jace Clay.
Yeah, Colin, this is going to be a very big game for the young pitcher. We've been comparing these Trinity Tigers to the Detroit Tigers in the way they've been pitching recently. I think the closest pitcher to Scooble would be Jace Clay. He's usually the one that goes the most innings out of this Tiger pitching staff. They're wanting him to go 6 or 7. We'll see how far he gets today.
First pitch to Coy Carpenter. Takes a strike. Saw the numbers on your screen for Jace Clay. Pretty good for his first year. Finds the zone for strike 2. Clay with a .329 ERA. Works quickly. Carpenter sends a chopper foul to his own dugout.
Carpenter had the only RBI for McMurry in yesterday's game.
And he will call time. Clay ready to pitch, but I guess Carpenter not ready to go yet.
Trying to get to another hot start.
This is sent in the air. Foul ground, but it'll go out of play into the Trinity bullpen. those of you who are just joining us or didn't hear me earlier, I'm Cole Isaacson, joined alongside Reed Rosales as we're here for Game 2, the Super Regional in San Antonio, Texas. Trinity held scoreless in the top of the first, now the bottom of the first. Carpenter fouls that on the check swing. Count remains 0-2. Trinity leads the Super Regional 1-0. Chance to advance to the College World Series today. The 0-2 pitch. This is chopped to Tinker at third, makes a step and fires in time. One down in the inning.
A routine play. Carpenter goes down maybe easier than he wanted to, but you can see Carpenter's speed, even though it was a grounder. Still somewhat of a play at first base.
Brings up Riley Hood. McMurry changing the lineup a little bit. Hood was hitting third in yesterday's game. Gets the promotion to second. Slaps one the other way, foul. Tough night for Hood last night, 0 for 4. And some quick at-bats, pretty uncharacteristic for McMurray's third baseman. The 0-1 from Clay. Just misses, 1-1. But a 401 hitter coming into this weekend. Now making his 48th start for the Warhawks. Pitch up and outside. Lazara has to reach up to get it. Count 2-1. Hood, first team all SCAC this season. Takes a strike at the knees, 2-2.
Clay's attacking his knees right now with this pitch location. Didn't get one call, got another. We'll see if he goes back to it.
2-2 to Hood. Sends a chopper third base way again. A tougher play for Tinker. Throws in time again. Kai Tinker showing his defensive expertise at the hot corner.
And that's what Clay wants to do. Draw that weak contact. Make it so your infield does the work for you. It's a lot of trust between a pitcher and his infield to make those types of plays.
Now working against arguably the most dangerous hitter for McMurray, Michael Smosna. Strike called. Smosna, a .438 hitter on the year and the SCAC Player of the Year. Swing and a miss, 0-2 quickly.
Yeah, a lot of award winners that this Tiger pitching staff has had to face thus far. Of course, Luke Bumpus being the newcomer of the ASC. They played him a lot.
0-2 outside. Easy take for Smosna. Count now 1-2. Clay trying to secure a 1-2-3 inning. This is shot the other way, but foul over the bullpen of McMurray.
That's the contact you want to see if you're the Warhawks. If you're fouling it off, at least foul it off with solid contact, not weakly.
Hit in the air, drifting foul, and no play out there and right. Floats into the McMurray bullpen. Smosna settles in for the 1-2 pitch. Hit in the air, deep to left field, but it's hanging up. Jones camps under it and makes the catch. 3 up, 3 down for Jace Clay in the bottom of the first. We'll head to the second in San Antonio. Still 0-0 in Game 2. Welcome back to San Antonio, Texas. McMurray and Trinity tied at 0 as we begin the top of the second inning. Trinity, the road team in today's game, and will be the road team again in Game 3 should we get there. Here's their lineup again for those of you who didn't hear us in the top of the first. Caleb Woodward will lead things off, followed by Maddox McDonald. Nicholas Lazara doing the catching. Nick Jones hitting fourth, followed by Will Baker at first. Brandon Nelson at DH. Kai Tinker at third. We've seen him a lot defensively today already. And then the two changes, Cal Coney at second and Cam Champness at short to round things out as the 9-hole hitter. And pitching for the Warhawks, Ethan Wendell. He's already worked a scoreless first inning. Reed, what are we looking for him as we continue this game?
We're looking for a lot of fastballs from the big man on the mound. Really tall, probably the tallest pitcher I've seen at this level of baseball. And he's going to throw fastballs. He's going to try to gas people, get strikeouts. Although a lot of weak contact he draws as well. But against Laverne, he had 7 strikeouts of Leo's.
We'll face Will Baker, a .306 hitter on the air. The first year takes strike one. Wendell, 7.2 innings pitched against the Leos in that regional game. Baker takes a pitch outside, 1-1. Will Baker, part of a record-breaking tandem for the Tigers this year. Takes a pitch outside, 2-1. One of 2 Tiger hitters to walk 40 times this year. Him and Caleb Woodward. That has never been done in Trinity history. Fouls it off the inside part of his bat. Count even at 2-2.
Yeah, it's just some great patience at the plate, especially for such a young player in Will Baker. It's very promising moving forward.
Fouled the other way into the batting cage and left. Out of play. We'll do it again, 2-2.
And Wendell always has to be careful because there's nothing more that the Tigers love to tee off on than a fastball that's...
This is chopped but foul down the first base line, and we'll do it again at 2-2. Seen already in game 1 how well Baker can work the count. Had 2 walks in last night's game. Multiple long at-bats from all of these Trinity hitters. 2-2 from Wendell. Outside, and the count runs full with nobody on and nobody out.
You never want to walk the leadoff guy. It's a cardinal sin as a pitcher.
And he does it. High and outside, ball 4. Leadoff man aboard for the 2nd consecutive inning.
Just well worked by Will Baker. His eye never ceases to impress me, Cole. He takes some pitches that are very close to the zone sometimes, but he's confident in all of his calls.
Brandon Nelson now coming up to the plate. He did a lot of damage in last night's game. Hit a home run and had 2 RBIs on the night. Pitch outside, ball 1. Wendell trying to find command early in the 2nd inning. Trinity the road team in this one in game 2. So they'll hit in the top of each frame. McMurry will follow in the bottom as a designated home team. Nelson hits this one high into center field. Coming in is Carpenter. Going back is Beach, and he makes the catch. So a little unorthodox out there in shallow center, but it gets the job done, 1 away.
I wasn't sure Beach was going to make that catch for a moment. He kind of flailed out there. But it's an impressive catch, very difficult to make. I think Carpenter probably would have had it if he called Beach off, but Beach just, sometimes as a shortstop, you want the glory out in the outfield as well.
Well, it all worked out for McMurray. Kai Tinker comes up to the plate. Hitless in last night's game, hitting .360 on the air, takes a strike. Working with 1 down. Baker waiting on first after his leadoff walk. The 0-1, not yet. They'll test Baker, who gets back safely. Brandon Nelson, the beneficiary of another awkward play from McMurray last night. A fly ball in the left over the head of Xavier Escobar. Just kept drifting and drifting, didn't make the catch. Marked down as an E7. Nearly had another one that fell in. Tinker hits this one out into right field, going back towards the wall, and it's gone! So hitless in last night's game, not today. He gets the party started with a 2-run homer.
And what a shot, Cole, from Kai Tinker. into the gap in right center. Man, you're exactly right. You go hitless one day, you are extra motivated to go deep the next, and that's what Kai Tinker does. It's a fastball he tees off on. That's what the Tigers want. They want him to throw fastballs.
We know McMurry certainly throws a lot of fastballs, gets one there, and puts Trinity up 2-0 in the top of the second. Brings up the 8-man. Cal Coney takes a ball outside. Coney making his first appearance of this Super Regional. Pitch misses low, 2-0. That was something Coach Scannell talked about. Said he wanted his guys to hit the ball the other way better, and that's about as good as you can do it off the bat of Kai Tinker. Pitch catches the inside part of the plate for strike one. Coney up the middle. Beach makes the ranging play. The throw on a hop is in time. 2 down in the inning.
It's some good range from Beach to range over, but a great pick by Bruning to pick it out of the turf off the bounce. A tough play for a first baseman, but he makes it look easy.
Now Cam Champness, the 9-hole hitter, up to the plate. Champness, a .313 hitter on the year. John Ramsey got the start at short in last night's game. Now Champness getting his turn. Hits one in the air, right field, drifting into foul ground and out of play into the McMurry bullpen. Trinity all year has run a platoon at second base and at shortstop, alternating at second between Cal Coney and Michael Lustina, and at short between John Ramsey and Cam Champness. Each player bringing something different to the table, and they like to mix it up. The 0-1. Chopper right to Deering, and he drops it. Gets a reaction from his dugout.
What do you score that? E10?
Something like that. Champness now an 0-2. It's one sky high. This should be an easier play for Beach. And he makes it to end the inning, but not before the Tigers strike first off the bat of Kai Tinker. An opposite field 2-run homer gives Trinity the 2-0 lead in Game 2. Welcome back to the bottom of the second inning. Trinity up 2-0 in Game 2 of the Super Regional. A regional where they lead at 1-0 in a best of 3. Jace Clay back on the mound. His first pitch just misses. To the SCAC first year of the year, Colin Bruning. Pitch misses low, 2-0.
And some shifting around of the lineup, but Bruning clean up all the same.
Pitch outside, not a good start to the inning for Clay, 3-0. Colin Bruning very justly earning that award. 386 hitter on the year. Making his 47th appearance. Pitch high, ball 4, and a 4-pitch walk to get things going for McMurry.
And if you're going to punish Clay at any point, you might want to do it here when he walks the leadoff man.
So the leadoff man aboard for McMurry, a 4-pitch walk. Clay fires. Ball inside. Beckham Paul, the batter. Pitch actually called a strike, count 0-1. Paul, a .333 hitter on the year. Clay throws to first, and this is where he's very dangerous. 11 pickoffs on the year. Ball gets away for a second, but not enough for the runner to advance. We'll see if Clay can pick off Bruning. Throws to first, not in time. Something interesting that I actually just learned today is that pitcher Jace Clay and first baseman Will Baker have played together since they were 8. Played 10 to 12 seasons together. So Baker says that he knows Jace's maneuvers inside and out. Pitch gets in the dirt, not enough for Bruning to advance. It's very, very slight, the difference between his pickoff maneuver and when he pitches. Baker says he knows it by heart. Count 1-1. Takes a look at first and will softly throw over there.
Maybe that explains the success Jace Clay has had picking off runners at first this year.
The 1-1. Gets the bunt down. Tinker throws in time. The sacrifice is complete as Bruning heads to second.
Just a textbook sacrifice bunt from Beckham Paul. Bunt laid down nice enough. He was a couple steps away from hitting first base, so a good throw by Tinker. They laid down some dangerous bunts over in California, so that one to not be as dangerous, I think the Tigers will take that.
Josh Mueller, one new batter for McMurray in this game compared to game 1. Chops one to Clay, who has the lead runner potentially. Throw to second, not in time, and they get no one. Bruning well off second base. Opportunity to tag him out. Tigers don't take advantage.
That was just a bit too frantic from Clay. You can see the slight hesitance there probably gave Bruning enough time to slide back into second. He throws immediately, they'll get him in a rundown, but just a little bit of hesitance.
So Josh Mueller advances to first on the fielder's choice. Bruning stays at second, and now Blake Beach up to the plate. First pitch misses for ball 1. Beach held hitless in last night's game, did work a walk. Also hitless in the 3-game series they played here earlier this year. Tries to drop down a bunt, has to maneuver out of the way of a pitch inside. He'll go down as ball 2. To Beach. 2 on, 1 down. Pitch misses, 3-0. Clay in danger of walking the bases loaded.
I wouldn't be surprised if he did walk another batter. We'll see a visit.
And we won't have to wait for that. Dave Smith coming out now to talk about it. Runners on first and second, only 1 down in the inning. Leadoff 4-pitch walk, and then a botched play to potentially get the lead runner on a bunt.
As we watch the conversation in a steaming hot day in San Antonio. Much nicer yesterday when we got to play this game at night, but right now it is about, it feels like 103, so I can't imagine what it feels like on the field.
Being down there earlier today, I can tell you that it is not pleasant. Good crowd out there regardless, as you saw on your screen. Jace Clay ready to go, so is Blake Beach. Opportunity to put McMurray on the board, down 2. The 3-0. High, ball 4, and the second 4-pitch walk handed out by Clay in this frame.
Clay is just struggling with his command. It's as simple as that. The good thing for him is that the double play is still on the table for the Tigers. It's just getting that weak contact to have an opportunity at it.
Ty Nelson coming up to the plate, hitting 8th today. 322 hitter on the year, 0 for 3 in yesterday's game with a sacrifice bunt. Takes strike 1. Big moment for McMurray to try and get back in this game. Could conceivably tie it with a base hit. Pitch misses away. Lazera throws back to third. This time they get him!
Oh my goodness, Cole. That was unbelievable. Out of nowhere. Look, Lazera, he looks like he's going to throw it back to Jace, and then bam! Right at third. Nobody was expecting it, especially not Bruning. What a back pick.
The same play that resulted in 2 runs for McMurray in last night's game gets an out for the Tigers today. Fouled off by Nelson, out of play. The count 1-2. Runners now on first and second. The runner at third caught napping in Bruning. The 1-2. Pitch high, 2-2.
Nelson gets some advantage. He has a very unique stance, kind of shrinks his strike zone a little bit.
Lined, but a foul ball towards the spectators in left. There are people everywhere watching this game. The stands are completely full. People in between the dugout and the Trinity bullpen. There were even some people on the roof here last night watching game 1. Clay trying to get out of this unscathed. Pitch rides inside and the count runs full, 3-2. Two down. Runners on first and second. Lined into right field. It gets down. Past the dive of McDonald. 1 run is in. Another coming home for McMurray to tie this game. A 2 RBI double from Ty Nelson.
Great job by Ty Nelson. Hitless yesterday, gets a hit today, just like Kai Tinker, and drives in 2 runs. Moved down to that 8th spot in the lineup, but he's making the Tigers pay no matter what. McMurray, they want to push this to the if necessary game.
They try to get the runner at second. Nelson diving back safely. Xavier Escobar stepping into the batter's box, the 9-hole hitter. 1 for 3, had a double in last night's game. 325 hitter on the season. Did he go? Yes. And that saves Trinity from having to deal with another runner on base. It looked like the pitch hit him. Now the 0-1. Runner on second. Strike called.
I think Escobar taking exception to the last 2 calls now. Kind of shaking his head, going, I don't know about that one.
Still has a chance to give McMurray the lead. The 0-2. Clay started to walk off the mound, thought he had strike 3, does not get it. Now has to refocus himself with the runner still on second. Now a 2-2 game. Tapped foul. We'll do it again at 1-2.
Clay just desperately trying to get out of this inning at this point. Struggled with the command at the beginning. 2 runs have come across, just trying to limit the damage to just that.
There's strike 3, gets him looking on the next pitch. So Jace Clay strikes out the last batter he sees. But the 2 RBI double off the bat of Ty Nelson ties this game. We're all knotted at 2 in game 2. Winner of this series advances to the College World Series. Welcome back to the Alamo City. We're here for the NCAA Super Regional. McMurry and Trinity tied at 2 in game 2 in a best of 3. Caleb Woodward up for the second time today. Takes strike 1. Woodward 1 for 1 in today's game with a base hit. And the top of the first. Working against Ethan Wendell. Takes a pitch outside, 1-1. Woodward reaching in the first inning with that base hit, but then was caught stealing. Called strike, 1-2.
He's attacking that outside part of the zone and having some success with it. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go back.
See if he does. This is a chopper to second. Nelson makes the throw in time, 1 away.
Yeah, good pitch sequence from Wendell there. Went lower and got the chopper from Caleb Woodward. Exactly what you want to do.
Now Maddox McDonald coming up to the plate. McDonald, a .353 hitter on the year. OPS well over 1,000. 0 for 1 today with a strikeout. Grounds one up the middle. Ranging play for Nelson. Does he make it in time? Yes, he does. A nice stretch from Bruning at first. Complete the out. 2 down.
Right up the middle, past Wendell, but some great range from Nelson and an excellent throw on the run. Close play. He may have come off the bag a little bit, but I don't think he did. He did a little hop to try and get the ball, and it was successful.
Brings up Nick Lazera, 1 for 1 with a base hit. 2 out, nobody on for Trinity. First pitch from Wendell misses low. Ball 1. Lazera with the game-winning single in last night's game. Drove in 2 runs, a 5-4 victory for the Tigers in game 1. Strike called, evens the count at 1-1. The Tigers catcher trying to find his way on with 2 down. Pitch misses low, 2-1.
Some recent finals coming in. Kane beating Salve Regina 5-2 to punch their ticket, and Whitewater beating Oshkosh 10-0 to punch theirs.
Swing and a miss from Lazera, count even at 2-2. That means this is the only super regional left to be decided. 7 teams have punched their ticket to the College World Series. The last one will be one of these 2. Chopper lands foul and rolls foul anyways. First time we have ever had an all SCAC Super Regional. McMurry, their first year in the conference. Trinity, their last. Lazera chops one down the first base line, but foul.
Big year for the SCAC this year. First time in conference history, putting 3 teams in the tournament ever. And of course, you just said, first SCAC Super Regional.
The 2-2, 2 down in the inning. Chopped this time fair to Nelson again, and he's recorded all 3 outs. 3 up, 3 down for the Tigers. We'll head to the bottom of the third. McMurry, opportunity to take their first lead of the game, tied at 2. Welcome back to the campus of Trinity University, Game 2 of the Super Regional between Trinity and McMurry, tied at 2. Trinity won Game 1. They need one more win to advance to the College World Series. McMurry needs to win 2 games today to do it. Leadoff man for McMurry is Coy Carpenter, who sends one into the air. Coney in the outfield grass will make the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out for Jace Clay to start the third.
Yeah, just jumped on the first thing he saw, ended up popping up. That's what a couple of the Warhawk bats did yesterday, and it didn't net them much success.
Riley Hood, one of those bats, held hitless in yesterday's game. Grounded out to third today. Takes the first pitch inside, ball 1. The wind blowing straight out to center field as of now. That's where the flags are going, so an opportunity for some power here. Sends one the other way. Evens the count at 1-1. What McMurry does, they love to drive the ball the other way, and they love to make you drive the ball the other way. Pulls this one. Tinker has to throw quickly. Does it on a hop in time. Kai Tinker showing his defense.
They trust him at the hot corner for this exact reason, Cole. What a pick by Kai Tinker, and then what a strong throw across the diamond to get it to Baker. That is something very few people in Division III baseball can do.
We see a few of those every now and then from Kai Tinker. That's why he's out there. Been here for quite some time. Play now working against the catcher, Michael Smazna. First pitch misses for ball 1. Smazna 0 for 1 today. Flew out to left. Sends this one to center field. Woodward has to range back all the way to the warning track at the wall, and it's over his head. Still in play. Smazna rounding second, heads for third, and gets there easily. It's a 2-out triple.
And last time he was here, Cole, he hit a triple. This one, he just hammers into center field. Woodward ranges back and back and back, and he just can't quite get there. It's a great leap from Woodward, but just misjudged it a little bit. Great Great hit for Michael Smosna.
Looked like there may have been a chance for that to leave the yard for a second. Stays here. Smosna getting 3 of the 4 bases, and now Colin Bruning an opportunity to drive him in. Takes ball 1. Bruning, a walk in his first plate appearance, was picked off at third by Nick Lazera. 2 outs, runner on third. Pitch high, 2-0. Play trying to work around the 2-out triple. Finds a pitch he likes. Swing and a miss, strike 1. That's the thing with this McMurry lineup. There really is no place to take a break. Bruning, the SCAC first year of the year. Hold. Foul.
Had a lot of power for a ball that ran in on him. Just shows the greatness that Bruning has.
2 down in the inning, a 2-2 count. Chase, or Clay, trying to strand the runner at third. Ball high, count runs full, 3-2.
A lot of his pitches have been high so far, Cole. We'll see if he goes from north to south.
Bruning trying to extend this inning. The 3-2. That's high, ball 4. He works his second walk of the day.
And right now, Clay, pretty much every pitch in that sequence was high. He got Bruning to swing at some, but most of them just missing up high.
Beckham Paul now with an opportunity to give the Warhawks the lead. Sacrifice bunt in his only plate appearance today. Another one of these stellar first years for McMurray. Runners at the corners, 2 down. First pitch outside, ball 1. There is some action in the Trinity bullpen. Clay trying to finish the inning himself. 1-0. High, ball 2, and just trying to find the zone right now. He's allowed 3 walks in this game. Behind 2-0 here. Chopper goes foul. Deering picks it this time at third. And there's the action. Jack Breezy up in the bullpen for Trinity. 2-1 from Clay. That's high, 3-1.
And this has just been an issue so far for Jace Clay. He has been missing a lot of pitches up high. There hasn't been a lot of low pitches in general from Clay in recent past.
Tries the pickoff maneuver, soft toss to first, not in time. Gonna be hard to get Bruning. His lead is pretty much cut in half. These Warhawks were picked off against Clay in the regular season. They seem to be aware of what he can do. 3-1. Hit in the air. Shallow center. Champness makes the catch, and Clay gets out of the inning. Leaves 2 stranded for McMurray, a scoreless third. Welcome back to the Alamo City. Game 2 tied at 2 in this Super Regional. Nick Jones will lead things off for the Tigers and swings at the first pitch up the middle. Nice play by Beach, throws in time. He's been excellent defensively today. Another web gem from him.
Yeah, one of several gold gloves in the infield for the Warhawks. Shows off the range again. He made a similar play yesterday. That one very impressive because McDonald, he's a fast runner as well.
That will bring up Will Baker. Walked in his first plate appearance, unsurprisingly. Takes the first pitch outside, ball 1. Strike called from Wendell. Wendell, one of 2 starters the Warhawks have relied on all year. We saw Hunter Poe in last night's game. Baker sends this one out to left field, deep towards the wall, back, and it's off the top of it. Baker rounding first, heads for second, and he's in there with a stand-up, 1-out double.
Off the bat, Cole. I thought that one might have had a chance to go the distance, just barely not. Going oppo right there. Escobar can only watch as it bounces off the wall. No chance to make a play. Tigers in a good position to take the lead again, potentially.
Another example of these Trinity hitters going the other way. Because of it, Baker ends up on second. Now Brandon Nelson, a 408 hitter, up to the plate. Takes strike 1. Nelson 0 for 1 in today's game. Popped out to short. 2 hits in last night's game. Pitch misses away, 1-1. Nelson's had a monster postseason so far. He hit his 13th home run of the year last night. His 3rd of the playoffs so far. The 1-1 from Wendell. Lined into right field, it's a base hit. Baker will get the stop sign at third, so it'll put runners at the corners with 1 away.
He's got power, Cole, but he's just so smart at the plate. Just knock it into right field, advance the runner, get on yourself. He can hit bombs, but he can also pull back and just put the ball into play.
Kai Tinker will be up to bat next, but first a meeting from head coach Tim Scannell and the rest of the offense involved. Saw this once last night, going over what they're going to do. While they do that, we can talk about this McMurry pitching and how much it's improved in the back half of the year. They were allowing 6.2 runs per game in their first 27. Those were played before April. Since April, they've allowed 4.1 runs per game in 19 games. So a stark improvement from that staff, and it's a big reason why they're in this position.
It really is, and they kept the Leopards of Laverne under their average mark. Only give up 4 runs to one of the hottest offenses in the nation. They can be streaky at times, but they have the ability to play with the best of them. Right now, that's what they're looking for from Wendell.
Talked to McMurray's coach Lee about that. Said it's about development, the development of the staff, and how much improvement they've made, but also said that he doesn't think they've reached their ceiling yet, thinks they can pitch even better. Wendell trying to do just that. The the go-ahead run on third base for Trinity in the form of Will Baker. Kai Tinker now at the plate for the Tigers. Squares up to bunt, but pulls it back. Smosna looked like he was thinking about throwing to third to try and nab Baker, but Hood not ready for that.
It looks like maybe the squeeze in play or a potential for that.
We'll see if Tinker squares up again in an 0-1. Does not, takes a pitch inside, 1-1. Here's what Kai Tinker did the last time he was up. Representing the 2 runs currently on the scoreboard for Trinity, the 2-run homer. Back in the 2nd inning. Strike called outside part of the plate, 1-2.
Caught the corner there. We'll see how Tinker adjusts to the count now.
Runners at the corners, one down. Here in the top of the fourth inning, tied at 2. Tinker grounds one through the hole in left. It'll bring in the go-ahead run. Baker scores from third. Trinity with the 3-2 lead.
That's just some good small ball baseball, Cole. Right past Blake Beach. Has no chance at it. Finds the big gap. Now runners on first and second for the Tigers and a potential to do more damage, but that double play still on the table.
Brandon Nelson now at third, Kai Tinker at first, and it brings up Cal Coney. Strike called. Runners on first and second for Trinity. Coney trying to extend the lead that they just got off the bat of Kai Tinker. He's driven on all 3 runs today. Pitch reaches, and the throw gets into center field. Tinker thought about going to second, has to retreat back to first. Almost a disaster on both sides there.
This is no offense to Brandon Nelson, but he's not the fastest guy on the team. So when he was out like that, I thought for a moment that there could be trouble, but thankfully for him, the ball goes into center field.
So everything stays as it was. The count 1-1. And Nelson has to go back to second again. He's bluffed like he was going to steal a few times, though based on his season numbers, that seems somewhat unlikely. Coney still waiting for a pitch. 1-1. Chopped fair. Hood thinks about going for a lead runner, but ends up taking the out at first, so both will advance 2 down.
Yeah, it was hit slow enough to where Hood's only real option was to go to first. Could have maybe forced a throw to second, but it was unlikely to get Tinker. And there's just no point in risking a throw going into right field.
So now it'll be up to the bottom of the order and Cam Champness, the 8-9 hitter so successful for Trinity in the regional at ETBU. Trying to continue that success with runners on second and third. Champness hits one into center field. Carpenter ranges in and makes the catch. So Wendell gets out of it in one pitch, leaves 2 stranded, but not before Trinity gets a run in off the bat of Kai Tinker. The RBI single gives the Tigers the 3-2 lead in game 2. We'll head to the bottom of the fourth next on Tiger Network. Welcome back to San Antonio. Trinity with the 3-2 lead here in game 2 of this NCAA regional. First pitch from Clay lands for a strike against Josh Mueller. Mueller 0 for 1 today, a .238 hitter on the year. McMurry trying to respond. They're already able to respond to a Trinity scoring play. Tinker with the homer in the second inning. McMurry responding with 2 runs of their own. The count now 1-1 after that last pitch. Breaking ball missing low, 2-1.
A big moment for Jace Clay. Just have to bounce back, have a better inning than last.
Chopper foul. Pitch in on the hands, evens the count at 2-2. Clay ran into some trouble with 2 outs. Triple from Michael Smosna, and then a walk to follow. That pitch misses and runs the count full, 3-2.
There were moments where Jace Clay was untouchable during the regular season.
Pitch inside, that's ball 4. The 5th walk handed out by Jace Clay today.
I think now as time has gone on, Clay has let a few more guys score. His ERA has rounded out to maybe where you expect a really good first year to be. He's been a really good first year.
Blake Beach, who's made some nice defensive plays, up for McMurray, but we will get a pitching change before that happens. That will be the day for Jace Clay. He works 3 innings and will be pulled in the 4th. New arm in for the Tigers when we come back for the NCAA Super Regional. You're watching on Tiger Network on NCAA Live. Welcome back to the campus of Trinity University, where the Tigers bring a new arm into the game. It's the senior Jack Breezy. Breezy making his 17th appearance, a 2-0 record, a 3.44 ERA. He will face the shortstop for McMurray, Blake Beach. Working with nobody out and a runner on first. Drops down a bunt, and it's a good one, but it will roll foul. Wise play by Will Baker to let that roll.
Wise for him to let it roll. Beach puts down good bunts. He had a pop-up bunt yesterday. That is very uncharacteristic of him, though. You see on your screen all these all-SCAC honorable mentions, but these two teams didn't really meet in the SCAC tournament at all.
The 0-1 pitch to Beach. Drops down a bunt again. This one will stay fair. Breezy plays it, throws to first in time, and the sacrifice is complete. Murray now with a runner at second and 1 down.
A good bunt laid down. A good throw by Breezy. Strong throw over to first. You get an out. Sacrifice complete. Both sides get generally what they want.
Ty Nelson responsible for driving in McMurry's 2 runs already today, now comes up to the plate with an opportunity to drive in another one. Takes a strike from Breezy. Nelson 1 for 1 today. The 2 RBI double. The 0-1. Fouled out of play onto the roof of the Bell Center. 1-0. That's going to clank off something. No hops there. Those of you who are unfamiliar with our setup, we're on the roof of the Bell Athletic Center here on Trinity University's campus. Right across the sidewalk from the baseball field. Nice view, but no press box. This is hit in the air, shallow center. Woodward comes under it and makes the catch for out number 2. But one of the unique parts of this setup is we get to identify how many hops foul balls take on the roof.
That's always fun to count. Thankfully, nothing has come towards us. We've had some close calls, but it'd be a pretty terrific angle to hit our setup.
It would be pretty remarkable indeed. Nothing quite yet. We've had to maybe jump to the defense of a camera every now and then, but haven't actually had to act. This is lined into left field. It gets down for a base hit. Runner will be stopped at third. Mueller gets the red light, but they're at the corners with 2 down for McMurry. Base hit for Xavier Escobar.
Yeah, a solid base knock, and they respect the arm of Nicholas Jones out there. If he would have gone, it would have been a play at the plate. I don't know if it's one that Mueller would have legged out and scored on. So I think a wise decision to stop at third.
Lineup flips over for Coy Carpenter. Carpenter 0 for 2 today. 248 hitter on the year. Chance to tie the game for McMurray. First pitch finds the zone, strike 1. And they will call a balk on Jack Breezy. So the run will come in to score without Carpenter having to do anything. So now runner on second, still 2 down. This pitch from Breezy is a strike. Try and get you the replay of that balk. Game now tied at 3. McMurray needing this game to keep their season alive. The 0-1. Breaking ball misses low, and here is the replay. We'll see what he did. Pitch from Breezy. Catches the zone. Strike 2. Count now 1-2. Now on a 1-2 count. 2 down in the inning. Swing and a miss. That's strike 3. So Breezy ends the inning with a strikeout, but the balk scores the run from third, and this game is now tied. We'll head to the 5th in San Antonio. Game 2 tied at 3. Welcome back to San Antonio, and we have the replay of the balk. Third base umpire calls it, and we're still trying to figure out what exactly he saw. The only thing we can think of is maybe that little bobble before he releases. Kind of steps ever so slightly, but didn't look like a lot.
Yeah, the leg pump or the a double glove dip. I don't know. It looked like a pretty normal pitch to me. Balks are one of those things where I kind of understand it less and less every time I see one called.
Head coach Tim Scannell didn't seem to have an issue with the call, so it stands. This game's tied at 3. Caleb Woodward leads off the inning for the Tigers, takes strike 1. Ethan Windles pitched an efficient game so far. Into the 5th inning, and a nice pick on the mound. Soft throw to first in time to get Woodward.
Yeah, you speak of efficiency. What other way to be more efficient than to just ground the ball from the bat back to yourself and throw him out? He has been efficient. That was his 67th pitch, I believe, maybe 66. So he's been very efficient.
McDonald has that go foul off his bunt attempt. Goes down as strike 1. 351 hitter on the air, 0 for 2 today. A strikeout and a ground out to second. Another Tiger who's had a very good postseason in the slugging department. Takes a strike, the count 1-1. A 2-homer game against ETBU in their second game in that regional. Team was down 10-5, and he hits a grand slam with nobody out to make it 10-9. Did he go? No. That did not break the plane. It was kind of an awkward swing.
Yeah, mix between a check and a let me get out of the way swing.
Count now 2-1. Pitch from Windle. Hit in the air, center field. Carpenter arranging back towards the warning track, and it goes off his glove. Bats it around in center field. McDonald will stay at second. Whether it's a double or an error, McDonald on second with 1 down.
We saw something very similar with Xavier Escobar yesterday. Carpenter tracking off his glove. It hit his glove, so I have to imagine that they might give that one an error rather than a double for McDonald. We'll see how they score it, though.
Tough play for Carpenter out in center. We've seen him work some magic out there. The outfield defense on both sides has been exceptional all season. Can't reel that one in, and it puts a runner in scoring position for Nicholas Lazera. 1 for 2 today. Inside out swing, foul ball towards the top of the screen behind him.
I do believe they have assessed that an error.
So an error just like the one they gave to Escobar in last night's game out in left. This one will be an E8. The 0-1 to Lazera. Go-ahead run on second in the 5th inning. Pitch inside. Smazna had to reach across his body to reel it in. One down, runner on second. Game 2 tied at 3 between McMurry and Trinity. Top half of the 5th. Lazera hits one into center. Carpenter ranging in, makes the catch. And there's 2 away. Backed up on it at first, but able to make the play.
And a good quick reaction after the first back step. He charges it. It's good to keep the runner at second. It's what you want if you're Windle on the mound. Don't let McDonald come home.
Now Nicholas Jones, the cleanup hitter, an opportunity to drive this run in with 2 outs. 0 for 2 today. He's flown out and grounded out. Slider misses the zone, ball 1. McDonald on second because of an error by the center fielder Carpenter. Trinity trying to capitalize on it. Strike called. 1-1. Windle trying to get out of the jam. Pitching to Jones, 1-1. Hit in the air, but hooking foul, and it is out of play, 1-2.
Jones, another player who was just on fire at the start of the year. He's kind of cooled down at the moment, but he's still a dangerous bat that can swing it with the best of them.
Now in a 1-2 count. McDonald, the runner, waiting on second. Pitch way inside, and Jones falls over trying to get out of the way.
It's a good thing he did get out of the way because that was straight heat from Wendell.
Now in a 1-2 count. Jones a part of that scorching start for the Tigers early in the year. They started the year 13-1. Already a 40-win team trying to advance to the World Series. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, that's strike 3. Wendell leaves McDonald stranded at second. We're halfway through this one in San Antonio, and we're tied at 3 in game 2. Bottom of the 5th coming your way next on Tiger Network. Welcome back to the Alamo City, the site of this super regional between Trinity University and McMurry. Riley Hood will lead things off for the Warhawks against Trinity pitcher Jack Breezy. First pitch misses, ball 1. Hood 0 for 2 today. He's grounded out to third baseman Kai Tinker twice in this one. Strike called, 1-1. Strike 2. Breezy getting ahead on Hood early. Tries to get him to chase on that one, 1-2, or excuse me, now 2-2.
Decent enough chase pitch. See if he goes back to it.
Close pitch, does not get the call. Trinity crowd thought that he had it, not the case. Count now runs full, 3-2. Hit in the air, right field. McDonald takes a couple of steps and makes the catch, 1 down.
Yeah, good fight between Hood and Breezy, but Breezy will come out on top in this edition of the Breezy versus Hood showdown.
We'll bring up Michael Smosna to the plate. 1 for 2 with a triple in this one. 438 hitter on the year. First pitch, down the middle, strike 1.
I want to give a quick shout out before we go any further to Seth Asbury for getting all this set up, the Super Regional.
Strike 2, 0-2.
He is the man behind the scenes, working with everybody, having so many moving pieces a part of this whole process. We can't thank him enough.
0-2 pitch from Breezy. Grounded the other way. Coney makes the throw a little offline, but in time. 2 away quickly for Breezy.
And just some more weak contact drawn by Breezy. That one goes right to Coney, to Baker. Been a solid inning for Breezy thus far. We'll see if he continues it.
Colin Bruning coming up to the plate, a .382 hitter. Worked 2 walks in today's games. Takes ball 1. Swing and a miss at a high pitch. Count even at 1 apiece. Breezy working quickly. Chopped foul, 1-2. A lot of catch and throw so far from Breezy.
And Bruning had some nasty shots down the right field line yesterday. 2 were foul, 1 was fair, and it did some damage.
Did he go? Yes, he did. A strikeout to end the inning for Jack Breezy. He works a scoreless 5th as we'll head to the top of the 6th next in San Antonio. Game 2 tied at 3 between McMurry and Trinity. Welcome back to the campus of Trinity University. Game 2 of the Super Regional between Trinity and McMurry tied up at 3. We're in the top of the 6th inning. Will Baker will lead things off for the Tigers against Ethan Windle. He takes ball 1. Baker 1 for 1 in today's game with a walk and a double. Has already scored 2 runs. Pitch misses low, 2-0. Referenced earlier that 7 teams have already punched their ticket to the World Series. The 8th will be one of these 2. Pitch outside, 3-0.
It is a really good World Series shaping up in Eastlake, Ohio.
Down the middle, strike called, 3-1.
Trinity were to win, their first opponent would very likely be Wisconsin Whitewater, a team they're very familiar with.
3-1 to Baker, fouled off into the screen. The count runs full. Played a 4-game series against Wisconsin Whitewater just last season. 2 teams split 2-2, and they played 2 years prior to that as well.
That last game they played my freshman year was at the Rock.
Inside, ball 4, and Baker works his 2nd walk of the game.
Good walk by Baker, not the Rock, the Wolf. Rock, a different stadium.
Wolf, where the Missions play, AA affiliate of the Padres. See if this will be the day for Windle or not. Don't see anybody coming in from the bullpen quite yet. Windle nearing that 100 pitch mark. We talked about how much McMurry relies on their starting pitching, and they would love these guys to go as long as possible, and they'll leave them in.
Yeah, that's one of their keys to success, Cole. They need Windle to go nearly the entire way, because last time when they had to dig into their bullpen, they kind of gave up the lead almost immediately.
Jonathan Enriquez coming into the game last night after Hunter Poe surrendered the go-ahead run. Trinity would win that game 5-4. trying to avoid a similar circumstance in another close game. Brandon Nelson at the plate. Chops one, just foul. Will go down as strike one, as Baker will have to head back to first.
Better to let that one go foul because it would have been too tough a play to get Baker at second. You still keep a good double play on the table.
Baker working the leadoff walk. He represents the only runner on, nobody out in the inning. Nelson 1 for 2 today. He has a base hit. Pitch is outside, 1-1.
McMurry were to sweep today. Their first opponent would very likely be Denison, the Big Red.
The 1-1 from Wendell. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Denison making it back to the College World Series after a year off, getting knocked out by Birmingham Southern last year, and their last year of the school's existence. Wendell waiting for the pitch he wants, has it now, 1-2 to Nelson. Inside. Count runs even, 2-2.
Denison this year has no problems making it to the College World Series. They stomped Bellhaven in 2 games, scoring double-digit runs while limiting the Blazers to, I think, maybe just 5 in the entire 2-game series.
2-2. Nelson sends one the other way into left field. And the catch is made all the way at the warning track by Escobar. 1 away.
That's a tough play for Escobar out and left. I don't know if you could see it on your screens at home, but the light reflecting off his sunglasses a little bit. He had a similar-ish play yesterday that went off of almost his head. But that time he makes the catch, keeps the runner at first.
The wind blowing out in that direction ever so slightly, making it all the more difficult, but getting the job done. Speaking of getting the job done, Kai Tinker at the plate. Driven in all 3 Trinity runs. Takes the ball high, 1-0. Tinker 2 for 2 today. 2-run homer and an RBI single. Working once again with Will Baker on the bases. Pitch high, 2-0.
I wonder how much of it is pitching around Tinker or it's losing command.
Tinker, the 7th man in this lineup. Calcone waiting on deck. Tinker grounds this one past the dive of Hood into left field. He's 3 for 3 today.
Kai Tinker, the most senior player on this Tiger roster, showing off that experience. There's a ground ball past the diving Riley Hood. That prompts another visit.
And it looks like this will be the day for Wendell. He passes on the baseball. Gets some encouraging words as he's about to head off. Trinity chases McMurray's starting pitcher. Gets into the 6th inning, allowing 3 runs. 2 on board with 1 down when we come back. A pitching change for the Warhawks. Welcome back. New arm on the mound for McMurry. It's David Perez, a 5-0 record, a 2.62 ERA. Facing Cal Coney, fires strike one. Comes into a dangerous situation, a tie game. Go-ahead run on second here in the 6th. Cal Coney 0 for 2 today, trying to come through. Pitch misses outside, 1-1.
Yeah, Perez, he gets some really good movement on all of his pitches. He'll try to be an off-speed craftsman.
Breaking ball finds the zone, 1-2. Perez, definitely one of the guys that McMurry leans on. His last appearance was in Game 3 against Pomona. Pitched 5.2 innings, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks, no earned runs. The game that McMurry clinched a berth in the Super Regionals. The 1-2. Misses high, count even.
Yeah, it was really McMurry versus the Skyac in that regional. They played nothing but Skyac opponents. Pomona, then Laverne, then Pomona. Perez really shut the door for them in the championship.
2-2 to Coney. Foul ball, Coney staying alive.
Because it is just hard to predict what Perez is going to throw, especially when his pitches have that much break to them.
Trying to shut the door on Trinity's bottom of the order. Coney, the 8-hole hitter. Champness, the 9 on deck. Just misses up. It's been a tight zone at points today, definitely there. Count runs full. Now a countdown count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runners on first and second. Pitch to Coney. Popped up. Is it playable? Looks like it is, and foul ground, and the catch is made. And a big out for Perez.
Gets the out anyways, even though it took an extra pitch, even though it probably shouldn't have taken an extra pitch. Everyone was surprised on the call from before, but I guess no harm, no foul.
Colin Bruning making the catch and foul ground to secure the second out. Only 1 more to go for McMurray to keep this a tie game. Now facing Cam Champness, who's 0 for 2. First pitch, high, ball 1.
Perez doesn't have the velo that Wendell has, so the Tigers have to adjust to a little bit of a slower pitcher.
Baker on second, Tinker on first. Champness fouls it back into the screen, count 1-1. The wind taking a little bit of a turn into left field, blowing into our microphones as it usually does. Now the 1-1 to Champness. Lined into left field, it gets down, a fair ball. Baker being waved around, he'll score easily, the ball's still in the corner. Tinker being waved around, he will try and score. The play at the plate, in time, they get him at home. Either way, an RBI double for Cam Champness gives the Tigers the lead 4-3.
Yeah, a solid slash at a low ball into left field. And man, that was some aggressive base running sent by Coach Deering. Tinker giving it all he got, but a great relay from the Warhawks to snag him at home. Keeps it a 1-run game.
Tinker tried to score from first, nabbed at home, and that's how the inning ends. But Trinity takes the 4-3 lead. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th on Tiger Network. This is the NCAA Super Regional Game 2. Welcome back to the bottom of the sixth in San Antonio. Jack Breezy back on the mound for the Tigers, now protecting a one-run lead facing Beckham Paul. First pitch from Breezy misses, ball one. The 1-0 from Breezy, misses again, now 2-0. This is how the game has gone so far. Trinity has scored, McMurry has answered to tie the game. We'll see if they can do it again. Big swing and a foul ball off the bat of Paul. Count 2-1. Jack Breezy came in the fourth inning after Jace Clay worked 3. So far has not been charged with an earned run. Pitch skips in the dirt, 3-1.
Paul has been a dynamic freshman in a very senior-heavy lineup for the Warhawks.
3-1, chopper to Chapness. Fields it from his position at short and throws in time. 1 down.
Yeah, Paul gets retired there. Pitch going low. Can't quite get solid contact off of it. Right to Chapness, he makes the throw. Tiger infield has been pretty sound so far defensively.
Working in the middle of the order now. Josh Mueller up to the plate. First pitch from Breezy misses, ball 1. Mueller 0 for 1 today. Grounded into a fielder's choice, but reached. He's also walked. Chopper, this time to Tinker, past his glove. Chapness fields it, the throw and a hop. It's in time.
And the McMurry faithful is not going to like that one. Gets past Tinker's glove. Chapness just makes kind of a desperation throw off a hop. We'll slow it down. It's close, but I think Mueller might have beaten that one out, Cole.
First pitch from Breezy, a strike. Now working against Blake Beach. Last year, they could have used replay to potentially overturn that. That rule does not apply now in these regionals leading up to the World Series. Blake Beach has walked and hit into a sacrifice bunt today. That pitch called a strike from Breezy. Brings the count to 1-2. The 1-2. Thought about it, the ball gets away. They say that Beach was able to check his swing, and you'll see the freeze frame here. That play at first, very close. Frame by frame, that is as close as it gets. Pitch from Breezy rides inside on Beach. Will run the count full with 2 down in the inning and nobody on. 3-2 pitch coming up. Pitch low, ball 4, and a 2-out walk handed out by Breezy.
It's a good plate appearance for Beach. Yeah, it's a tough life being an umpire. Because sometimes there's a call, no matter what you make, people aren't going to like it. Although that one very close. They don't have the replay system available to them.
Ty Nelson takes ball 1, a pitch in the dirt. Breezy working with a runner on first, and looks like he might not be working anymore. Pitching coach Dave Smith coming out. We'll see if it's to get him or just to talk with him. And so far, this just looks like a talk with the senior pitcher.
And going back to that discussion about replay review, NCAA saying no replay review this year due to just some schools not having the ability to run a very good replay system. You know, not everybody can be like a Kane broadcast or even our broadcast having a lot of angles. It's hard broadcasting baseball sometimes. That's why they kind of got rid of the rule.
We're very fortunate to be able to do it the way we do. You reference South Asbury, of course, our executive producer, Josh Michigemba. So many people behind the scenes making this happen. Pitch from Breezy, ground ball, Champness. He can get all 3 outs, and he does. Baker keeps his foot on the bag to end the inning. A scoreless frame worked by Jack Breezy as Trinity hangs on to their 1-run lead. We'll head to the 7th in San Antonio. Welcome back to the Alamo City, the top of the 7th, as we're in the final third of this one between Trinity and McMurray, game 2 of this Super Regional. The top of the order will get things started for the Tigers. Caleb Woodward leading things off. Takes a strike from Perez, who's in his 2nd inning of work. Woodward 1 for 3 today. He's grounded out the last 2 times he's been up. He led off the game with a base hit. Takes a pitch outside, 1-1. Woodward smacks one to center field. Carpenter backs up a little bit, now comes forward to make the catch, a quick first out.
A good contact for Woody, but just right at Coy Carpenter. About as perfectly placed as Carpenter could be.
Now Maddox McDonald will come up to the plate. 0 for 3 today. Has reached on an error. He's also struck out. Breaking ball misses up. Count 1-0. Tigers trying to find some insurance. Yet another tight game in this Super Regional. Curveball at 72 out of the hand of Perez, and he is not getting that high strike call. 2-0. McDonald hits one high, but not very deep. Paul camps under it, makes the catch. 2 down.
That's what you want. If you're Perez, just keep rolling through the Tiger bats. Get your guys with the sticks back up to the plate to do some damage. Because right now they're behind. This is their season on the line.
McMurray's been answering Trinity runs all game. Trying to have the opportunity, only down 1. Nick Lazara now up to the plate. First pitch away, 1-0. Lazara with a base hit in the first. 0 for 2 since then. Pitch outside again, 2-0.
Trinity was in a position like this. Birmingham Southern Super Regional 2022. That was a very offensive game both times.
Pitch misses away, 3-0.
It's safe to say that the Tiger pitching staff has vastly improved since that Super Regional. A lot of guys making all-SCAC honorable mention from this pitching staff and some first and second teamers.
3-0 pitch from Perez. Down the chute, strike 1. The Tigers made the World Series in 2022. That was their third time in program history, but this team, a lot more balanced than that team that was carried by its offense. Pitch misses inside, ball 4, a 2-out walk to Lazera.
He draws the walk, and you're right, Cole. It was a much more offensive team. It's a bit unbelievable how far that team actually went, given what they had to use. But it was walks like that from guys like Brian Schaub and MJ Metz that really pushed them to that final stage. These seniors, they were there at the World Series 4 years ago, trying to go back.
First pitch from Perez to Nick Jones is high. Lazera, the runner at first, 2 down in the inning. Trinity notching in their first 40-win season since they won it all in 2016. Strike called to Jones, 1-1. In a position to potentially get back to the World Series. Trying to do it with a win today. The 1-1. Strike called, a nice breaking ball from Perez.
Jones watching the last 2 pitches. We'll see if he saw anything he wants to sit on.
In a 2-strike count, the 1-2. Good take, a breaking ball, a chase pitch.
It's a good chase pitch at that. But Jones not biting just quite.
The 2-2. 2 down in the inning. Perez trying to get out of it. Hit in the air and fouled out of play onto the roof of the Bell Center. 1, 2, 3, and that's all it will have. Jones staying alive. Trying to extend the inning. Some cloud cover coming onto the field now. The 2-2. Lined the other way and fouled into the screen.
I think everybody appreciates the cloud cover right now.
Oh, yeah. Looks like we got some runway with it, too. Perez takes a look at Lazera at first. The 2-2 again. Pitch misses. Count runs full with 2 down.
Jones, one of a couple of guys on this team that I put on the jaywalker list. 4 walks in a game. He can be really good when he stays patient.
Trying to work one here. Maybe get on another way. 3-2 from Perez. Lazera off and running. Jones hits one into right field, back, and it lands on the warning track. One hops the wall. Lazera running around from third. Here he comes in, safely standing up, and Trinity extends the lead. It's 5-3. An RBI double from Nick Jones.
He saw the pitch he wanted, and he took it. A bit of a meatball right down the middle at 83. He hammers it off the wall. Jones makes it so the Nick-to-Nick connection stays strong. The Tigers go up by another run.
Now Will Baker coming up to bat. He's reached safely all 3 plate appearances he's had today. 2 walks and a double. First pitch, a strike from Perez. Lazera able to score from first on that play only because he was off and running. Full count, 2 down. He was almost at second by the time that pitch was hit. Check swing, did he go? No. Count even at 1-1. Tigers now with a 2-run lead. Tied for their largest lead that they've had today. All of this coming with 2 outs so far. Pitch misses away from Perez, 2-1. Will Baker potentially looking for his 3rd walk of the day. Halfway there so far. High, ball 3.
Exciting times, Cole. Exciting times. Can he get that 3rd walk of the day?
Talked about it when he first came up to bat. Him and Caleb Woodward both over 40 walks in the season. First time that's ever happened for this Trinity program. The 3-1 high, ball 4, and that is a pedestrian.
3 walks in a game. That's a pedestrian. I've been trying to start this trend around. We have a lot of fun names for amounts of strikeouts. Why not do it for walks as well?
And it looks like that pedestrian will end the day for Perez as he takes his own walk back to the dugout. Trinity able to extend the lead. It's 5-3 here in the 7th. Welcome back to San Antonio, Texas. New arm on the mound for McMurry. It's Trey Gomez. Comes in with a 2-0 record, a 1.54 ERA, 11+ innings pitched in 11 appearances. He will try and keep this a 2-run deficit with runners on first and second, and Brandon Nelson at the plate, the Tigers' leader in home runs and batting average. First pitch inside, ball 1.
That's what we've talked about before, Cole. Teams very rarely win against the Tigers when they're trailing and they have to go to their bullpen.
The 1-0. High, ball 2. Gomez, his last 2 appearances both came against Concordia in the SCAC tournament. Combined for an inning pitch. Only gave up 1 hit, and he struck out 1, allowed no earned runs. Strike called, 2-1.
They wound up just put in there for a strike. Gomez, impressive ERA. Not a lot of innings pitched. We'll see if he can keep it that low.
The 2-1. Outside, ball 3. In danger of loading the bases. You're wondering how we got here. The first 2 Tigers to hit in this inning both flew out. All of this has been done with 2 down in the inning. Lazaro walked. Jones hit a double to bring him home. Baker has walked. He's now on first. Gomez trying to send us to the bottom of the inning. Swing and a miss. Strike 2.
That was a Brandon Nelson big swing. He makes contact with that. Might break another windshield.
The full count. Nelson hits one high, shallow center field. Beach coming back. Somebody needs to call it. Drifts into left, and Escobar in to save the day. A little bit of confusion, but the inning ends nonetheless. Trinity tacks on a run. Nick Jones with the RBI double, the drive in. Nick Lazera, 5-3. The Tigers have the lead in game 2, trying to advance to the College World Series. Bottom of the 7th when we come back. Welcome back to the NCAA Super Regional Game 2 between Trinity and McMurry. Trinity won Game 1 5-4. They lead Game 2 5-3. McMurry down to their final 9 outs potentially, and Xavier Escobar will lead off this inning. Sends the first pitch into the air. Shallow right field. Coney backs up on it and makes the catch in the outfield green for out number 1.
A good catch by Coney. He had to cover his eyes because sun is out. On the field, at least. Maybe not so much on the roof, although it is peeking now into our tent. But a good catch by Coney.
We'll flip the lineup over. Coy Carpenter, 0 for 3 today with a strikeout. Sends down a bunt. It's a good one. Breezy has to slide. Can't handle it. Will go down as an infield single for Coy Carpenter.
Carpenter shows off his speed. Breezy trying to get it. And no, just... I don't know if the slide was intentional or just a bit botched, but either way, it doesn't work. He can't get his hand on it.
Jack Breezy was a catcher, so has some experience making those types of plays. Couldn't do it there, though. Now Riley Hood, looking for his first hit in this series, takes a strike. Hood 0 for 3 today. He's grounded out twice and flown out to right. He represents the tying run in the 7th. Breezy throws to first. Back safely is Carpenter.
And he's one of the fastest players on this McMurry team. There's a reason why he's always scouring center field.
Pitch from Breezy. Finds the zone. Strike 2. Quickly ahead 0-2 on Hood. Carpenter waiting on first. Slapped the other way, but foul. We've seen that a few times out of Hood. One down, runner on first. Carpenter has 15 stolen bases on the year. Swing and a miss. And that is strike 3. First strikeout of this inning for Jack Breezy.
And the trouble is just continue for Riley Hood. Has yet to record a hit in this series. Tough times.
Murray, top of the order, has been largely shut down by this Trinity pitching staff. Michael Smosna trying to change that. He is a triple in this game. Comes up with 2 down, runner on first. Big swing and a miss at the first pitch from Smosna, 0-1.
Yeah, good off-speed pitch, getting him way ahead of it. That was a bit crafty by Breezy.
Good pitch, just misses. 87 out of the hand of Breezy. Carpenter not running yet. 15 for 16 on stolen base attempts this year. The 1-1. Hit in the air, straight up and foul, out of play. I couldn't even tell where that ball went.
I couldn't either. I took a look above us just in case, but I don't think it came towards us, thankfully.
Brings the count, 1-2. Smosna, did he go? No, runner off and going, and the throw goes into center field from Lazera. Carpenter will head to third. So a stolen base for Coy Carpenter, and he takes the extra 90.
Yeah, and that's just a mistake by Lazera, full stop. I mean, nobody's even ready to take the throw at second base. So his throw just sails into center field. Yeah, just a bit of a miscue from the Tigers there.
Now the runner at third in Carpenter. Smosna trying to drive him in. The 2-2, tapped foul towards the Trinity dugout. Smosna at the very least trying to get on. He would represent the tying run. Smosna grounds it up the middle. It's a base hit and an RBI. Carpenter easily scores from third. This game now 5-4.
He's just Mr. Reliable, Cole. The pitch from Breezy, 88, gets the base knock up the middle. And yeah, Warhawks are only down by 1.
And that will be the day for Jack Breezy, a new pitcher coming in for Trinity. Breezy more than did his job. He leaves with the lead. Though the tying run is on for the Warhawks, they'll try and bring it in when we come back against a new pitcher for Trinity. Welcome back to San Antonio Pitching Change as Will Taylor enters the game with a 7-0 record and a 2.10 ERA. Tying run is on first for McMurry as he will face Colin Bruning. Bruning trying to bring Smosna in from first. First pitch from Taylor, high, ball 1. See the numbers for Bruning on the year. 380 average. He's 0 for 1 today. He's walked twice. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Trinity up 5-4, the exact same score they won by in game 1. That pitch rides inside. Bruning has to get out of the way, 2-1.
And Will Taylor certainly not a very conventional pitcher in any sense of the word. Very unique guy on the mound.
Chopper foul. Tinker was there, makes the throw, and it was on a line, but not going to matter.
He's got to have the wherewithal to do it, just in case he called it fair. That was a great throw.
Brings the count to 2-2. 2 down in the 7th. Chopped foul again, so we'll do it again. See if they decide to send Smosna at any point. He has 16 stolen bases. He's only been caught twice. 2-2. That's strike 3, gets him looking. Bruning can't believe it.
Throw from Taylor. Gets rung up at the knees, and Bruning literally turns to the home plate umpire and says, "That's low," as he walks back.
May have had a case. Either way, the inning is over. We're heading to the 8th on Tiger Network. 5-4 Trinity trying to advance to the World Series. Welcome back to the campus of Trinity University. Kai Tinker set to lead off the inning for the Tigers. Gomez back on the mound for McMurry. First pitch misses, ball 1. Tinker quite the day at the plate. 3 for 3, 2 singles and a 2-run homer. Counted for the first runs that the Tigers scored today. It's been a lot of back and forth since then. Tinker hits one high and deep to left field. Back at the wall. See you later. Why hit 1 home run when you can hit 2 and give your team a 6-4 lead in the Super Regional?
Yeah, that ball, Cole, was crushed by Kai Tinker. Off the bat, I don't know if it was head coach Tim Scannell or pitching coach Dave Smith saying, "Get out, get out, get out." It got out, and they're celebrating in that dugout now because the Tigers get a very needed insurance run in a very close game.
We know how quickly McMurry can put on runs. They've done it all game. Every run matters. Kai Tinker has accounted for a lot of them. 4 RBIs after that homer, and we'll see it again.
Yeah, demolished. 4 for 4 day for Tinker.
Calcone in an 0-1 count. Take strike 2. All of that for Tinker after he was held hitless in last night's game, not to mention all the defensive work he's done. Final year of eligibility with Trinity, making the most of it. Swing and a miss for Coney. He strikes out, 1 away.
Good sequence from Gomez, quickly dispatching Coney. That's what you want. You need to bounce back after giving up a bomb like that. Get the next guys out, push it to the bottom of the 8th.
Cam Champness up, 1 down, nobody on. Strike called. Champness, his last time up, had an RBI double, gave Trinity a 4-3 lead at the time. He's also had a good defensive day today. Pitch misses, ball one, count 1-1. Champness had a tough day against St. Thomas defensively in the first game of the SCAC tournament. Double play ball potentially could have ended the game. Missed it as he swings and misses at that pitch. Allowed the game to continue, went to extras. Trinity was able to walk it off, but to come from that play to the defense that he's shown today, it's been very impressive. The 1-2 from Gomez. In the dirt, a nice take by Champness.
And we've always known, Cole, that between Ramsey and Champness at short, that Ramsey's kind of the more defensive-minded guy. Champness the more offensive option. He had to bounce back in the way he has. It's been very impressive.
The 2-2. Outside ball 3. Seems like both of them are meeting in the middle a little bit. Champness' glove has come to play today, and Ramsey's bat came to play last weekend. Now in a countdown count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Fouled into the screen, we'll do it again.
A pitch count for Gomez. It ticks a little bit higher. I wonder how many arms they're willing to use in this final game, potentially.
Swing and a miss. That's strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Gomez. 2 down.
Because now we're at the point, Cole, where you might have to expend some arms you maybe don't want to. Arms you want to save for a potential game 3, just to keep your season alive at this point.
Caleb Woodward, the Trinity leadoff man, comes up with 2 down. Nobody on. 327 hitter on the year. 1 for 4 today. Did he go? No. Count 1-0. Talk about the situation McMurray's in right now. Having to play a game 3 regardless if they want to keep their season alive. And Trinity has a lot of fresh arms ready to go if that needs to be the case. Strike called, 1-1. So they're hoping not to use them with a 2-run lead. Trying to get these final 6 outs after they're done batting here. Pitch just misses. 1-2. Excuse me, 2-1. Fouled off the end of the bat the other way and out of play. All 2s on the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Woodward trying to extend the inning. The Tigers got a run with 2 outs in the last frame. Trying to recreate some of that with the top of the order up. Woodward lines it. Diving play by Nelson. The throw from his knees will not be in time as it gets away behind Bruning. We'll see if Woodward's awarded second, and he is. So that will be a base error on Ty Nelson.
Nelson's taking that one a bit hard because we'll see how costly that ends up being. Now, on a hop, Bruning can't pick it into their dugout. Thankfully for the Warhawks, 2 outs on the board. Just got to get the next guy out to push it to the bottom of the 8th. Man, that is a mistake that, as a second baseman, you kind of hit yourself for a little bit.
Great play to even get there, but now a run in scoring position for Maddox McDonald. Hitless in today's game, 0 for 4. First pitch outside, ball 1. Trinity already with an insurance run in this inning, a solo homer to lead it off for Kai Tinker. Trying to add another. Just misses. 2-0.
Yeah, that outside part of the strike zone has not been very friendly to certain pitchers, more friendly to some more than others.
The 2-0. Foul ball off the end of the bat. Zara waiting on deck. He has his catcher's gear on. Ready to play defense if needed. Ready to hit if needed. Woodward on second. The 2-1 to McDonald. Grounded to Nelson, off his glove and into right field. Woodward's going to come around and he's going to score. The E4, two of them in the inning.
Yeah, Woodward was off to the races even before the ball hit the bat, and it pays off. An unfortunate play there for Ty Nelson. Tigers get another insurance run, but sometimes a misplay begets another misplay, Cole.
Nick Lazara up to the plate, a 404 hitter on the year, 1 for 3 today, walked the last time he was up. And we will have a mound visit. We'll see if this is a chat or a change. Gomez has been worked very hard. So far, just to talk. And Reed, you got to wonder what they're talking about. Gomez is going to stay out there. His defense has done him no favors. Tough back-to-back plays for Ty Nelson, who's done so well through the most part of the day.
Yeah, it's kind of, I'm not sure you could replace him on the mound, because if you do, I'm not sure how many arms that McMurry really has in their bullpen right now to even go in this situation. Kind of danged if you do, danged if you don't.
Trying to win this game to play another. Trinity trying to win this game and move on. We'll have to go against Nick Lazara. 2 down, McDonald on first. Pitch away, ball 1. McDonald bluffs like he's running. That's a ground ball through the gap in right. McDonald, round second, he's going for 3. Throw not in time. Aggressive base running from Maddox McDonald puts runners at the corners.
Yeah, super aggressive base running from Maddox McDonald. I didn't think he was going to head to third, but no. He digs in, gets on his horse, and makes it there. So now runners at the corners.
So the inning that seems to never end for McMurray will have to continue through a pitching change. Gomez's day is done. A new arm on the mound for the Warhawks. When we come back, Trinity up 7-4, trying to add on. Welcome back. A new arm on the mound for McMurray. It's Bryson Morrill. 3-1 record at 4.3 ERA and 29 innings pitched and change. 24 strikeouts, only 9 walks. Comes in with runners at the corners and 2 down in the inning. Face the pinch hitter, Evan Kuhl, who grounds 1 to second. Ty Nelson makes the throw, and that ends the inning, but not before the Tigers get 2 on the board. A home run from Kai Tinker, and you'll see it again here. That made it 6-4. Trinity adds another one to make it 7-4 as we head to the bottom of the 8th on Tiger Network. back to the NCAA Super Regional. Game 2 between Trinity and McMurry. Tigers leading game 2, 7-4, trying to clinch this series and a spot in the College World Series. Will Taylor back on the mound for Trinity. He'll face Beckham Paul. Big cut at that one for Paul, 0-1. Paul 0 for 2 today. Also has a sacrifice bunt. McMurry needs offense. They've only got 6 outs to work with. Down 3. Pitch is inside.
Quite a speed difference. 72 breaker into an 89 fastball.
There's that breaking ball again. Well, that was actually 87. Fastball dips low in the zone. 2-1 pitch. 81 that time, 3-1.
Well, Taylor's been known to touch 90 from time to time as well with his fastball. He's attacking low right now. We'll see if he goes a little higher.
Strike called. There is 89. Taylor, one of these arms that Trinity trusts at the back end. Another one up right now in Will Hellings. We'll see if they have to use them. The 3-2. Swing and a miss. That's strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Will Taylor. Got some defensive changes for Trinity to note. Evan Kuhl takes over for Nick Jones in left field. Michael Lustina in at second. John Ramsey in at shortstop for Cam Chapness. Josh Mueller up to the plate for McMurray. Takes the ball low. So Trinity with their best defensive lineup out there to secure these final 5 outs.
Yeah, they want this win, Cole. They want to end it now. They don't want to play a third game.
Pitch high, 2-0. McMurray trying to continue the most successful season in program history. They have never made it this far. Pitch rides inside. Count 2-0.
It's been such a storied McMurray program as well. Been around since the 1920s, took nearly half-century break.
Strike called, 2-1.
Before they restarted it in the 90s.
Count actually 3-1 based on the umpire's signs. Strike called, that should run it full. This is hit in the air, shallow right field. McDonald charging in, dives! Did he make the catch? Yes, he did!
Oh my goodness, Cole. Talk about a web gem from Maddox McDonald. He screams in the diving play, a bit covered by the pole, but we could kind of see it from here. It was as amazing as you thought it was.
First pitch from Taylor. Taken inside, ball 1. Blake Beach, the batter now for McMurray. And we'll see if we get another angle here. Looks like we did, and there it is. Swing and a miss from Beach, 1-1. The defense on full display, and it has been all year for Trinity. Caleb Woodward and Maddox McDonald in center and right field. This is shot the other way. McDonald, this time an easier play, makes the catch. And that ends the inning. We're headed to the bottom of the 8th. Tigers trying to add on to a 3-run lead. Excuse me, the top of the 9th. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the campus of Trinity University. Top of the 9th inning in San Antonio. Will Baker will lead off this inning. 1 for 1 today. He has 3 walks. Facing Bryson Morrill, who's back out there for his 2nd inning of work. Takes strike 1. Trinity up 7-4 in game 2 of this best of 3. They already took game 1, potentially 3 outs away from the College World Series. Ball outside, 1-1. Baker looking for his 4th walk of the day. Pitch inside, and it hit him. So he will go to first base. Works the same as the walk, but does not count as one.
I would have appreciated the walk, Cole. And just in my personal opinion.
Well, not today, Reed. Not today, but they may have more baseball in them if they can close this game out. Up 7-4, now with a runner on base, potentially an insurance run for Brandon Nelson to drive in. 1 for 4 today. He's flown out the last 2 times he's been up. And he sends one into right field through the gap. Baker will go station to station and be content stopping at second. The first 2 will reach in the top of the 9th for the Tigers.
Another solid day at the plate for Brandon Nelson. Just a strong ground ball into right field. There's not even a chance for Nelson to react to it before it's already past him.
Now there's that man again, Kai Tinker. 4 for 4, 2 home runs, 2 singles, total of 4 RBI. Now working with runners on first and second, nobody out. Drops down a bunt, but it rolls foul. Trinity still trying to add on some insurance runs. Tigers in a position they didn't necessarily expect to be in the preseason. 31 of 61 of these rostered players were not on the team last year. A lot of uncertainty after last year's regional loss to Laverne. The 0-1. Tinker pulls back the bunt. Brings the count to 1-1. Coach Scannell telling me yesterday that this is his favorite group to coach in 27 years of doing this. Tinker in a 1-1 count. Drops down a bunt. This one rolls foul again, so probably not going to bunt anymore.
Interesting play from the Tigers right here. Just wanting to get the runners into scoring position, but just one out on the board. Now, although Tinker has to swing now, that might be a bit more dangerous.
Today it definitely is. In a 1-2 count. See what he can do. Tinker sends one deep to center field. Carpenter camps under it. Took him a while to get there. Baker will tag and slide in safely to third. Goes down as a sacrifice fly. Runners at the corners with 1 down.
I think Tinker got his job done there. Just get a runner on third base, 90 feet away from scoring another. Tigers are just looking for insurance runs at this point heading into the bottom of the 9th.
Michael Lustina will come up to the plate for the first time today. Hitting 284 on the air. And it looks like we'll have another one of these meetings. Trinity likes to do. This one will just be with Lustina, though, and pitching coach Dave Smith. A bit of an odd combination, but looks like Coach Smith has something to say.
Yeah, I'm not sure I've ever seen Coach Smith come out here to give one of these pre-at-bat talks to one of the Trinity bats. Usually it's either head coach Tim Scannell or hitting coach Joey Deering.
Meeting adjourned. Wind picking up a little bit as we get later in the day. 6:30 local time in San Antonio, Texas. Sun slowly setting here. Lustina comes up to the plate. Runners at the corners. Trinity up 3, trying to add on. Catches the zone, strike one. One down. Lustina drives one deep to left field. Back at the wall. It's gone to Trinity and beyond. And that might just send the Tigers to the College World Series.
Oh my goodness, Cole. Michael Lustina just cranked one way further beyond. I'm wondering what the talk was with Dave Smith now. You know, when he talks to a pitcher, they throw a strike. Maybe when he talks to a hitter, they hit a home run. Man, Lustina goes yard. And yeah, that seems almost like the dagger for the Tigers that they need to put in the Warhawks.
The lead has ballooned to 6. John Ramsey up to bat. Strike called. Ramsey, a big reason why Trinity's even made it this far. A home run in the top of the 8th, against East Texas Baptist to give Trinity the 4-3 lead in that regional. They would end up winning in extra innings. Takes a pitch away for ball 1. The count 1-1 with 1 down. The bases cleared by Michael Lustina's 3-run homer. Foul ball off the end of the bat. 1-2. Michael Lustina, one of the seniors on this Tigers roster. One of the members of the team that's been through these back-to-back regional losses before this year. Ramsey sends one foul into the screen, 1-2. Trinity, a team that came in with a different attitude this year. Scannell saying that this team just loves to compete, and that's why he loves coaching them. The 1-2. Good take by Ramsey, the count even at 2-2. And to
make regionals 4 straight years, it's very difficult, especially in this region, Cole. I mean, some of our other sports programs haven't made the regional 4 years in a row.
Ground ball, Beach at short. Throws in time, 2 down. Coach Scannell said in the preseason, in 27 years, I'm not sure if I've had a better January or preseason. Said the team is focused, coachable, and detail-oriented. And all of that a big reason why they're in this position. Up 6 runs in game 2 of a super regional. An opportunity to secure 3 more outs in this next half inning and go to the World Series for the 2nd time in 4 years. Woodward slaps one the other way. Will it stay fair? No. It finds a little bit of foul ground out there in left field.
Yeah, not a lot of foul ground out there. The renovation of this field kind of cut out some of the foul territory. When it does land fair and go to that corner, though, it usually hops into the Trinity bullpen, as it did on that foul ball.
Pitch just misses, 1-1. That home run off the bat of Lustina, his 5th of the season. An unlikely candidate, didn't even start this game. Pitch outside the Woodward, 2-1. So that just shows the depth that this Tigers lineup has. You have those options like that that can pinch hit and come through. Pitch inside, 3-1.
Yeah, just that clutch factor that the Tigers have had this year. They've been in situations that they could have easily let the games get away from them, but they show their clutch factor.
Woodward hits one high, out of play and foul.
One of them from this man at the plate right now, when he walked off the Warhawks in that 3rd game in the regular season. One of many games that could have been a loss for the Tigers, but he turned it into a win.
Down 3 runs entering the bottom of the 9th in that one. They score 4 without an out even recorded. Chopper to short, Beach. Throws to first in time. We'll head to the bottom of the 9th. McMurry down to their final 3 outs. This a much larger deficit thanks to that swing from Michael Lustina. Sent it a long way into left field. Trinity up 10-4, 3 outs away. Welcome back to One Trinity Place in San Antonio, Texas. McMurry down to their final 3 outs. Will Taylor will be the man on the mound trying to secure them for Trinity. Ty Nelson will lead things off for McMurry. First pitch. Grounded the other way. It's a base hit and a good start for the Warhawks.
Yeah, this time Cole jumping on the first pitch, bringing in some success for the Warhawks offense, which has been a little slow today. First pitch, first hit, first man on base. They're going to need a lot of that if they want to make the comeback.
Now the bottom of the order, and Xavier Escobar up to the plate. He has a hit today. It's a single. Takes a ball inside. Escobar, despite hitting ninth, a .326 hitter. Sets the table really nicely for the top of the order. Takes a strike, 1-1.
Yeah, he's definitely not your prototypical 9-hole bat. This bottom part of the order just as dangerous as the top at times for the Warhawks.
Escobar drives this one into center field. Woodward backs up, camps under it. That's one.
Great catch out there by Woodward. Sun in the eyes and everything, but nothing deterring him.
Now Coy Carpenter, 1 for 4 today. Runner on first. First pitch high from Taylor. Will Taylor will get the first crack at securing these final 2 outs. Will Hellings ready if needed. Inside, 2-0.
Take this moment to quickly shout out our crew sitting in the stats box: Justin Parker and Garrett Landon and Tyler Wells.
Strike one.
Without them, none of this is possible on our side, especially them keeping such detailed records and stats. Very thankful for them.
They've done a great job all year, responsible for all the information we get. This is lined into center field, the second hit of the inning for McMurry. They need every bit of offense they can get right now.
Certainly, Cole. That one right up the middle in the truest sense of the word. Station to station for the Warhawks. There's force outs on the bags, though. Still dangerous situation.
And pitching coach Dave Smith is going to come out and he'll make the change. That'll be the day for Will Taylor. Looks like Will Hellings will come in to try and secure the final 2 outs and send his team to the College World Series. We'll be back after this pitching change. Welcome back to San Antonio, Texas, on the campus of Trinity University. Will Hellings coming into the game at 5.09 ERA, 4-1 record, 44 strikeouts, and just over 40 innings pitched. He has to face the heart of this McMurry lineup, starting with Riley Hood, 0-4 today. First pitch misses, ball one.
That starts Hood off with a breaking ball there.
Strike called, 91 on the fastball.
You'll see that combination of that breaking ball and how fast he throws, it is deadly.
Ground ball, this could do it. Flip to second, throw to first, it's in time! Book your tickets to East Lake, Ohio. The Trinity Tigers are headed to the College World Series.
Celebrations in San Antonio, Cole, and how sweet it is for these Tigers going back to the final site, the College World Series, for the second time in 4 years. Many players in this division don't get to go once, but these seniors, they get to go twice. What a special team, Cole. What a special team.
They battled all year. They battled through the regional at ETBU. And they responded to McMurry and the many counter punches that they threw both in this game and the prior one. Hard-fought series on both sides, but in the end, it's Trinity, the SCAC champions, that will represent the conference in the World Series.
See the final play again. Tailor-made double play. Just like they do it so many times before. Jubilation for the Tigers, heartbreak for the Warhawks. We have to shout them out. It was an amazing season for them. Going to the conference tournament their first year, after a bit of a middling year the year before, to come out and set a program record for wins, that is something special that this program has to look forward to. I think they'll punch their ticket to the World Series soon, but just not this year.
Head coach Josh Lee saying that this year was 3 years of hard work reflected. The amount of effort they put into turning this program around, but now it's the Trinity Tigers' time to celebrate. Head coach Tim Scannell in his 27th season will make his 4th College World Series appearance. As they celebrate on the mound, where they won so many games this year, a 41-win season, 3 away from matching the record of the team that won it all in 2016, that won 44.
It's an amazing story, Cole. It's an amazing story. This team that's been through so much, started so hot, cooled off in the middle, then got hot again near the end when they needed to the most, that fought through adversity in their regional round. As you see, very acrobatic moves from some of the team.
I don't know if they did see that. That might have been a little out of frame. Jace Clay doing a backflip as he did after they won at ETBU. Had a conversation with head coach Tim Scannell before the season started. He said he had questions of whether or not this team could do it, wondering whether or not they were good and how good they were. You see the backflip there from the starting pitcher in this game. And that question lingered. They went 13-1. They had that rough stretch in the middle where they only went 8-6. But this team finished strong. They won 17 games in a row before losing to ETBU in the regional, but would respond to advance to the Super, where they sweep McMurray. What a season it's been, as they are the 8th team to punch their ticket to the College World Series. And as we said earlier, more than likely the matchup will be Wisconsin-Whitewater. We'll stay tuned for the celebrations as they happen.
As they get ready to take the picture with the ticket, and as a team, Got to shout out some of the big performers of this game. Kai Tinker, 2 bombs, and then Michael Lucina, the exclamation point in the top of the 9th, a 3-run shot. He doesn't hit many home runs, but when he does, it's always a big moment here at the field.
They'll take a team photo, and then they'll get one with the ticket and the trophy that are both waiting for them. They will be in the College World Series that will start May 30th, and hopefully for them extend to June 5th. And it will be Kai Tinker that will come out to accept the trophy and the ticket. And there it is. Two senior leaders of this team, 2 of many. Kai Tinker, who's been here the longest, takes the trophy. Jack Breezy, one of the leaders of this pitching staff, takes the ticket.
They've been waiting for this moment for a long time, Cole. Back when they first went to the College World Series, none of the seniors really had a very big impact because there were some great players ahead of them, but now this is their time to shine. And it's such a young team too, Cole, that no matter what happens at that final site, next year, it's looking just as good.
Both Dave Smith and Tim Scannell so proud of this team as they hoist the trophy all together. They both said this was the best class of first years that they've ever had. And that's saying something considering how long they've been here and how much success they've had. Their photos from the 2016 World Series Championship still hanging just behind home plate here at the ballpark. An opportunity to make more memories in East Lake, Ohio. That's where they're headed next as the Tigers are on to the World Series. That'll be it from us on Tiger Network here in San Antonio. As always, I'd like to thank everybody who took their time to work on this broadcast and make it so good. Ariel working cameras today, Yanel in the control room, along with our executive producer, Josh Michigemba, who's largely responsible for making this all happen and bringing it all together in the way it is. And, of course, my partner, Reed Rosales, who called his 201st game here for Tiger Network. For all of those people, I'm Cole Isaacson saying so long from San Antonio. We'll see you next season.